What's going on, y'all? It's Greg. Greg said it. Back with our second of the day, inspiration, motivation. Had a wonderful lot today. Just talking about CU as the wild card. Not just the wild card like the one that sneaks in like in the playoff, the wild card, but a true wild card of the team you really don't know what they're going to do, and you better be prepared for them. We talked about some things. We talked about how the tide is turning. Sure enough, slowly but surely. Identifying CU. That several guys made All-American ranking, All-American, All-Conference. A couple All-Americans. Ironic Shador wasn't on there yet, preseason. The Big 12, preseason. Several guys, like I say. Starting to see some acknowledgments of the receiver room, some rankings as far as top receiver rooms in the country. Maybe in the top 10, I think. At first, it wasn't acknowledging them at all. Defense has started to be recognized as a top 20 defense. Then we see ESPN come and rank them in the top 20 in their own little projections. Then we see a few guys recognized in the top 20 pass rushers from our defensive side. We're starting to see people actually see Colorado for what it is, a team that's legit, not a bunch of losers like everybody want to hope and joke about. A team that is not just a bunch of guys who didn't play, who got no production, who the leftovers, left behind, second-tier guys. Still talking about last year. Meanwhile, this year, some exceptional production on both sides of the ball, from the line to the skill position. Some exceptional linemen out the portal. Some exceptional receivers out the portal. Some exceptional running backs. They got a lot to prove, young running backs, for the future out the portal. Defensive line, some exceptional pieces disrupting that backfield out the portal. Some linebackers we needed. Very solid linebackers, not just for CU, but for anybody out the portal. And some good pieces in the secondary, top ranked. You know, we had a top ranked cornerback, top ranked linebacker. Yeah, we got some top ranked defensive linemen. According to the transfer rankings at every level, we had some top ranked offensive linemen as well, and receivers. Everybody I just named, these guys were in the top 1 to 2 when they came to the transfer portal. How do you have people in pretty much every category, offensive line, receiver? Only thing we didn't have was running back, as far as top. But we had a top secondary member, cornerback, top linebacker, top defensive lineman, rushers, multiple. Yet, people still want to play with Colorado. They're going to lose to North Dakota. They're going to barely beat North Dakota. Any other team that get that level of production in 1 year, in addition to what they already had, like I said, the people struggled with. Yeah, they lost last year, but barely. Coach Brown said, I only need about 7, 8 more dogs. He's far exceeded that. Just based off of what I just told you, from top production. That ain't including the ones who ain't been acknowledged. See, Big Barnes from Alabama, nobody's acknowledged him because he has no stats. You're right about him. But you're going to learn. He's a guy who was a red shirt. But when he take that off, you're going to get to see who he is this year. I guarantee you that. He going to produce. It's a lot of pieces that they haven't acknowledged because they are young, waiting for their time, like Hayden in the backfield. Maybe Auguste. These guys are looking for their opportunity to show the world. And just like a true wild card, you have no idea what they're going to do till they do it. See, some of them you have idea. The rankings show it. The stats show it. You ignore them foolishly. But these guys who haven't shown who they really are yet, when they do, it's going to be overkill. This team has a lot of pieces that people are starting to recognize, and they got a lot of pieces that you going to recognize for the first time. The problem is, what does that equal? What is that formula? What is that really showing? Is that a team that's 4-8? Again, for the clowns who say that that's going to be. Is that a barely over 500 team? Or is that a contender? Somebody you better watch out for to run through their conference and make a lot of noise. Is that a team that on the upside you could be looking for in the playoff? Time will tell. So much like life. Time will tell. People will overlook you. People will underestimate you. They'll question your experience. They'll question, do you have what it takes? Have you shown it? Let me tell you, every person who's ever shown it, it was a point before they showed it. Nobody born showing it. It's a day where you got to show who you are. I remember Terrell Davis. I run at Denver Broncos. They say they was about ready to cut him. And he had to make his name on the special teams. He get a nice big hit just to keep himself on the roster. Little did they know, he was about to be one of the greatest running backs in Denver history and history period. A Hall of Famer. Who was this far away from not even making the roster. He had to come in a non-traditional way. See, everybody got to prove themselves. Everybody got to have a starting point. It's silly of a person to say somebody's nothing because they ain't showed you yet, as if they ain't and they can't show you. Somebody gonna show you. It could very well be the person you overlooking, because everybody got to show you at some point. Nobody just giving opportunity. Now, some people, some people just get an opportunity, they ain't showing nothing, But in reality, most people have a starting point. They have a story. They have an underdog story. I remember looking at Kurt Warner. He has a whole movie, Underdog. They had to show you. The coaches may be against you. Your teammates may be against you. Doubt you. The fans. Even people around you. Your family. Hopefully not you. But at some point, your day gonna come. You get to show people what you made of. Colorado's gonna show people what they made of as early as August 29th. And I have a feeling it's going to be a big shock. And they're going to want to write it off. Oh, it's North Dakota. But they're going to hit them so hard in the mouth. They're going to say, goodness gracious, this is different. Man, they're just so dominant up front. Why we keep playing with them like they don't have no D-line? They ain't got no side. That's only what kind of foolishness you say. They don't win and revamp the whole roster full of size. People still talking about they don't have no size. They don't have no depth. People like that deserve to get embarrassed. So I'm going to tell you. These boys are big up front, and they strong, and they skilled, and they well coached by some of the best. And there's no way you finna think you're going to play with them on that defense. Mark my word, Colorado defense will be one of the best in their conference. And in some areas in the country. They got the edge rushers, and they got the tackles to get after the quarterback. Don't be surprised if they run up some sack numbers, some records. I would be more surprised if they don't. You already got them ball hawks who was ball hawking with a so-called horrible defensive line last year. The Shilohs, the Silver Creds. They still got them ball hawks out there. Travis Hunter's still out there. I don't know what you think you're playing with, but that combination don't sound too good for opponents. A very stingy, aggressive defensive line. And a very ball hawkish secondary. It don't look like you're in a good position to run down a high-power offense with Shadors and the Western and even Travis over there, Will Shepard, and the young guys, a lot of guys coming back. Amarian Miller, Jimmy Horn still there. It's not a combination that you want to play with, and I don't think people get it because they too busy to undermine it and talk about false stuff like, oh, they don't have no size, they have no depth. You got plenty of depth on both sides of the ball. Plenty of talent. And time surely will tell. But I'm just Greg. Greg said, make sure y'all like, share, subscribe. And I'll be talking to you real soon.